Hello everybody and welcome back to the Philadelphia Soul Arena Football League Road to Glory Season Mode. We are taking a look at the standings here, our divisional standings, the National Conference Eastern Division. And the Desperados are leading things by a commanding margin as they are undefeated. They have not lost yet. And we've kind of climbed our way back into the mix here with the Destroyers, who had a 4-1 start and have slipped to 5-3, and we have clawed our way up to 4-3. So taking a look over the conference standings, so the Desperados are clearly the class of the league this year, with the Wranglers and Destroyers and Predators all tied at 5-3 below them, and then we come in and at 5 with the Force, Dragons, and Storm, and Voodoo kind of holding up the caboose here. The Voodoo having a rough year, but today's game is against the Desperados here, so the leader of our division here. You look at all those first rankings that they do have. It seems to be, their defense seems to be pretty weak actually, but they seem to be pretty potent with their passing offense, so their passing attack. So our rankings are clearly nowhere near as good as that, as we've kind of bumped around being last in the league and close to last in the league. So that's just kind of how things have been with us this year. But I don't think we're that terrible of a team. We've done kind of okay, I guess, in a lot of aspects. We've done okay. We've climbed our way back to 4-3. You can kind of start to see a little bit of the vision here, just a little bit, if only a little bit. Most of our impressive wins have come against pretty weak teams like Grand Rapids and like New York, but still, we have some impressive wins. Like, we did beat the Destroyers in the last video too. That was a sim game that I didn't really highlight all that much, but we did manage to beat the Destroyers, which was kind of a massive game to kind of redirect our season. So if we can add the first loss to the Desperados, that would be nuts, man. 8-0 is still just crazy anyway. I think every time I play this game, the Desperados are always like the championship team. They always go. Like that first year, they're always either in the playoffs or they go. And so, I mean, I'm not shocked that they're 8-0, but we do need to kind of get past them if we want to get into the postseason or have a chance of getting into the postseason. And our chances are going to kind of vanish when you do stuff like this. I think regularly that wouldn't have even been considered as a fumble, but this is Arena Football Road to Glory. Obviously, it's not going to get looked at, so that's just going to be a fumble, and the Desperados are going to get an opportunity with the football deep in our territory here at the 15-yard line. So on the very next play, it is another fumble, and this time we're going to come up with it. So both teams exchange fumbles on back-to-back plays. We've seen this happen before. I can't remember what game it was where we just exchanged interceptions. Was it the Orlando game? But it was something like that. So it's 1st and 10 again from the Soul from about the same place we started. So nothing really lost here as Graziani drops back and uncorks an interception to the Desperados. So again, we exchange possession on 3 straight plays. It goes back and forth and back and forth, and man, we need to limit those turnovers. I don't know where the turnover number is. It's I mean, it's on that list of rankings, so maybe our differential's pretty bad. But so from about the 1-yard line, the Desperados are going to try and punch it in, and they hand it off to the fullback, who gets into the end zone for the first touchdown of the game. So we burn half the time in the first quarter just exchanging possession, but the Desperados finally get into the end zone. So we have an opportunity here, getting close to midfield. Graziani uncorks a long ball and finds a wide open Mike Brown, who gets into the end zone for our first touchdown of the day. And now the game is tied here at 7 apiece. And so the Desperados now on their next drive, uncorking a ball across the middle, and it is caught for the first down here, just past midfield for the Desperados. So their drive is now picking up steam. On the very next play here, I cut around the plays here and try to keep it to just the 3rd and 4th downs, but the Desperados do pick up another first down. So very rare you see a team kind of matriculating the ball up the field, but I guess it's how their offenses remain so powerful, is that they're kind of able to do that. It's just kind of work the ball up the field. But Bibla gets inside and gets to the quarterback, and he scoops up his own sack, and it's going to get into the end zone for a scoop and score. Amazing. Amazing. He gets his own... recovers his own strip sack. And, I mean, by the way, it was a weird strip sack to begin with. It looked like, I think Dressel's his name, the quarterback for the Desperados. It looks like he had got rid of the football, but it just kind of went backwards. And again, man, this is road to glory, so those weird forward pass and reception fumble things are just going to go your way every time. But we get a major one here. It's a strip sack and a scoop and score. But on the very next drive, the Desperados are going to make us look silly and get into the end zone. So that 7-point lead held for all of about 3 seconds, and now the Desperados have tied the thing up. which is fine because we still kind of have the advantage. So if we can kind of keep scoring on offense and keep moving forward here, then we can eventually end up on top. But that means our offense cannot slip up. We can't have any more turnovers. So put a pin in that. And on our next drive here, and it is a scoop and score for Dallas. It happened so quick I couldn't even register it. So we needed to keep the advantage and score first. But Graziani just gets gets blown up there instantly. You would have thought there was a twisting call or something, but no, that is clean. And Dallas gets a scoop and score of their own, so it's 21-14. And on the very next drive here, we pick up a nice first down here. Mike Brown hauls that one in around the 25-yard line. So we have a 3rd and 5 situation here. We haven't really moved the ball much, so we need to get the first down here. And again, Graziani's eating some carpet here, eating some turf as he gets blown up, but he managed to get rid of the football, and so it's only 4th and 5, and it's not a sack, so manages to get rid of it, and that's not a fumble somehow. And again, the pressure gets in to Graziani, but this time there is twisting. I was going to say, man, someone had to be committing a penalty. That dude's getting in way too easily on every single play. So we get a fresh set of downs here, but it's 2nd and 6, just under a minute left to go in the first half. Send a man in motion. Graziani's again trying to evade pressure, but he finds an open receiver. I believe that's Scott who he found, who gets blasted into the boards, but it is another twisting call. And actually, he doesn't get blasted into the boards. He gets blasted into the end zone. So we're going to decline that and take the touchdown here and tie things up with Dallas. And we're going to try and pull out a surprise onside kick here. We still have a minute left to go in the half, but we're going to try and keep Dallas on their toes and, again, kind of take the possession advantage, but it doesn't work for us. Dallas retains possession here, and now they have great field position to get into the end zone, and it is a floater into the end zone. We had a couple guys in position. Neither of them were paying attention to the football. But Dolezal, I think Dolezal is his name. So kind of like Rachel Dolezal. You guys know who that is? If you do, I don't know what you're doing here. But, yeah, anyway. Dallas does score a touchdown, so now they keep the advantage. They've had it, and now they keep the advantage. So 28-21, but look at this. Dallas is set up in onside kick formation themselves. They're going to try and extend their lead, kind of pad it. They have a touchdown to give, so they're going to try and be aggressive here before the half is over and see if they can extend their lead to 2 possessions, but it doesn't work for them either. So 2nd and goal now for us with just 26 seconds left to go. Man is in motion. Graziani drops back, looks over here, and floats us over to the side and finds Scott again. I get the names confused because 2 of our receivers have similar names. It's like Stuart Scott, Steve Scott, something like that, Sean Smith, something like that. So I get them confused. But we do manage to score before the half is over. Here is your breakdown between both. It is an absolutely even game back and forth. Both teams have a scoop and score, have a few turnovers themselves. It has just been a sloppy game all around, but 28-28. So we're already at basically the runtime of the last video against the Dragons, and you can see we have about a whole another 8 minutes left to go in this video. And it's just amazing how much different these games can be when you actually have a back and forth like we have here in Dallas and not a blowout like we had in New York last week. So it's a bit of a rough road trip that we are on here against these 2 opponents. But we are going to kick off second half action now, and Dolezal drops back, uncorks a deep ball, and finds an open receiver in one-on-one coverage. Mike Brown could not lock him down. I mean, what can you expect, bro? He's got to be tired, man. On both sides of the ball like that. Got to be tired. I don't know what the excuse is for the receiver. I guess Mike Brown just isn't built like that. So it is a first down, and they flip the field now and have it inside of our 15. Dolezal's going to drop back again. Beautiful coverage up front, man. That O-line is putting in double time. I can see they're 8-0, bro. Dolezal's got all day to throw that football, and it is a touchdown, I think, to the same receiver who just caught that first pass. And Dallas takes a 35-28 lead. So on our next drive, Graziani dropping back here, stands firm and throws a quick ball to a receiver here. This is on 3rd down, and so we didn't get the first down, and so that is a huge defensive stop for the Desperados as they not only get the stop and prevent us from scoring, but now they have prime field position to take a 2-possession lead. So we need to do something on defense here to really kind of help us out here. And so Dallas floats up. Dolezal floats that one up here. I think it's to the same guy, man. That receiver is just really 6 consecutive completions. We have not stopped Dallas's pass game at all, and I think that was their big thing. I think they're first in the league in passing game, and we're watching it in real time why that is. They're going to try and go on the ground, though, and go with the receiver reversal, and it does not work, but Mike Brown grabs a little bit of the face mask, so it's going to add 5 yards for Dallas and essentially get them just on the goal line. They're sniffing the goal line now. And yeah, Mike Brown's pretty mad, but when you're hurting your team that way, playing pretty bad defense and making big mistakes like that, you should be upset. But that is not. But Dallas cannot convert, and so on a 4th down, they're going to take the points. And 38-28 is now your score. So it is a 2-possession lead here, but it is only by 10 points. So there is plenty of opportunity for us to get back into this ball game if we could just capitalize on our offensive opportunities. So, 1st and 10 here from about the 17-yard line here. Less than a minute left in the 3rd quarter. Graziani uncorks a deep ball and finds Mike Brown, who shakes off the defender and gets into the end zone for a touchdown. So, making some mistakes on defense, and he finally cooks the guy who's been cooking him all day on the offensive side for Dallas. And he gets into the end zone for our first touchdown. What feels like forever. I mean, basically in the quarter, but the score gets back down to just 3 points now as the 3rd quarter is coming to a close. Dolezal uncorks a long ball himself and finds an open receiver, and that's Moten, who was in coverage, who could not lock him down. And yeah, he's mad with himself. He's mad. But that is a first down nonetheless, and he's going to let him know about it. So that is going to bring the 3rd quarter to a close. So we're heading into the 4th and final frame here, just in an absolute shootout back and forth. Dallas holds on to a 3-point lead. And so we're going to need to somehow get the ball back if we want a chance to win here, because Dallas definitely has all the cards, all the chips on their table, and now things are starting to flip as Dolezal finally makes a mistake. The first INT for Dallas all day as he finds Mike Brown and just hits him right in the hands. So Dallas has been very conservative with the football, very smart with the football, and they finally screw up. So this is our opportunity to finally take the lead here and get into the driver's seat as Graziani drops back and sends one across the middle of the field here and finds an open receiver who shakes off a defender and escapes the boards and escapes a few more Dallas Desperados and gets into the end zone. So there you see that turnover number is really kind of keeping this game interesting, but we managed to take the lead. So 42-38 is your score, but Dallas is not done, and they're going to answer back with a long pass play themselves, and again, man, Moten's getting cooked. They're all getting cooked back there. None of our defenders can seem to lock anybody down. Our defensive specialists, our receivers, they can't seem to do it. So Dallas is going to get a prime opportunity here inside the 10 here. So it's 3rd and goal, though. So we have an opportunity to come up with a big stop here. They might keep the offense on the field for 4th down if they don't get it. But Dolezal's going to go through the air and just about hit the netting. It looks like that ball was about to hit off the netting. So 4th down, but Dallas is going to keep the offense on the field, man. They're going to go for broke. They're not going to take this one sitting down. But it's a sideways pass by Dolezal. I think he got hit when he let go of it. And I think there was a receiver in the vicinity, but it was a backwards pass nonetheless. So that is a fumble. So it's another mental mistake by Dolezal, who's had otherwise a really great game for Dallas, but 2 crucial turnovers here at the end of this ball game have kept things interesting and given us the upper hand, the advantage here. So if we can score, we can essentially put this one away. I don't think there'll be much time for Dallas to answer. We're going to hand off to Orrs, our fullback, who's just breaking tackles and moving up the field, and he gets a beautiful pickup for us and gets brought down just shy of the 15-yard line. And now Dallas is going to try and start burning some timeouts, I guess, because if we manage to get into the end zone here, then it's essentially a game over for Dallas. But as you saw, we have a minute and some change left to work with, so there's still plenty of time in the arena game for something else to happen. And now Orrs, who's been running out time for us, finally coughs up the football, and Dallas is going to pick it up. So a humongous turnover. We don't have a touchdown-type lead, man. We only have like a 4-point lead, so we can't really afford to be making mistakes like that, but we do anyway. And so now Dallas is back in the driver's seat with an opportunity to score the go-ahead touchdown here, and they pick up a beautiful first down and get brought down at the 25-yard line. So they're already moving the football pretty well here, so it's 1st and 10. We are under a minute, and the time is continuing to run. So if Dallas can burn all the rest of the time in the game and get into the end zone, and they do get the touchdown, Mike Brown gets cooked once again by this number 3 receiver here. And I guess it's Pettis. I'm guessing that's who it is. It's comparing our two ace receivers here, Pettis and Brown. And so Pettis has been bullying Brown all game. So it's a 3-point game again. Dallas takes the lead, but with 12 seconds, it's 3rd and 4. Can we get into the end zone and score here? As we find an open receiver who shakes off the tackle. No one's going to catch him, and it's a touchdown. And Dallas is going to have to call a timeout here, as they're going to try and conserve the 10 seconds or so left in the game. But we managed to take the lead. There's hardly any time left in this game now. Amazing offensive production by the Soul in this game, man. Coming up clutch when we really need it, just when you thought the turnovers were really detrimental. And so now with only 4 seconds left in the game, Dallas is able to stop the time with 4 seconds, and it's all going to burn away in this kickoff unless they can get into the end zone. So on the return here, and that's Pettis who has it, but he gets brought down. So the clock is going to run, and that is going to end the game, and we hand Dallas their first loss of the season. The undefeated Desperados fall to the 4-3 Philadelphia Soul at home. God, one of the biggest victories for us in this game, man. That was massive. It's cool to finally see one of those close games, just kind of watch one of them and see it unfold for us. And yeah, man, the turnover numbers were nuts, and that is really the big deciding factor here. I mean, there was probably 7 or 8 turnovers between both squads, and man, we are lifting the coach like we just won the Arena Bowl, and we haven't even gotten close. So Martin Bibla, our guard and left end who had the scoop and score earlier in the game, gets player of the game honors, but I think really anyone probably could have had it because there was a lot of big crucial moments and plays that went either way for both teams. So yeah, 8 turnovers in total for this game. 3rd down percentage, not that bad for us. The offensive production was virtually the same for both teams. Dallas was a lot more penalized than we were, which might have been a big contributing factor to their loss as well. But Graziani has a pretty great game here. Only 1 pick to his 6 touchdowns, and that's the kind of production I really need at a quarterback. Even Wes Owers doesn't have that terrible of a game. Receiving breakdown is just freaking crazy, man. This is an NFL stat line. Not really yards, but touchdowns, man. Everyone is eating in this game today, man. Everyone is eating. So Mike Brown has 5 tackles and an INT. That's a spotlight there. But yeah, so in the next video, we will continue on our season here, and now as winners over the Desperados.